How's it going, guys? It's Burgers here and welcome to another Age of Empire mobile video. Today we're going to talk about the low power accounts and why focused technology beats high power accounts. And believe it or not, Age of Empire mobile low power accounts are losing fights because most players upgrade everything instead of building one deadly role first. This Age of Empire mobile strategy breakdown explains why focused technology, gear and march specialization can make a lower account power destroy players with millions more power. And this is something that I mean, if you follow my videos, you're going to know that this is one of the main reasons I continue playing, knowing that by continue playing with this low power account, even though that I was like close to 1 year AFK, just because I know that I need one single march and everything to be focused around this march. And believe it or not, I have great success by doing that. Now, low power doesn't mean weak. We want to point out, I want to, put a red line under this thing. Low power doesn't mean weak. Players judge accounts only by total power numbers, and high power accounts often have terrible combat efficiency underneath. So what I mean by that is, first of all, if you are low power, the majority of the cases you're actually having pretty decent march. The majority of the cases, because low powers are trying to get the best value from their accounts in the majority of the cases. Till, whales and krakens, they can do whatever they like, and their legions may not be the best thing, but still, since they have solid rings, since they have solid horses, gear, gems and etc., their legions are actually performing good just because they can actually afford to do this this boost. But that don't mean that the low power accounts are weaker or the higher power accounts are the stronger. And the issue here is random upgrades create inflated power without real battlefield pressure. I think I make one video when I was trying to double my account power in like 3 months, and I didn't manage to do that. I mean, it was great exercise. I boost my power with like 10 million, but at the end of the day, one of the ways I boost my power was with the heroes here. I go and for example, right now I'm going to recruit. I didn't even get a single legendary hero, but just by getting those things and boosting and start up my heroes, I actually create inflated power. I have right now inflated power just because, for example, Diu-chan is like close to 2-star. Cleopatra is like 3-star. Who else? Okay, Mulan is actually an investment here, but I have this bad boy Yu Sun Shin is also like over 3-star. This actually create a little inflated power. So don't judge people by their power. You can ask me if you're looking to get somebody inside your alliance. First, just ask them to share with you their legion. Their main legion. Everybody should have one core legion just to share it, and you're going to get a better understanding of the knowledge of this player and just from his core legion. From this to see his how much power, because it's just one number that don't mean that much at the end of the day. Now, focused accounts trade better despite having lower overall statistic. And how they actually trade better is, imagine you and a whale. The whale is going to build the Lubu, you're going to build a Lubu. I mean, I'm giving Lubu because it's most known Legion setup in Age of Empire Mobile. Now, Lubu, you're going to have the max level. The whale is going to have the max level. You're going to have, for example, a Ring of Dicey, and believe it or not, whales also use Ring of Dicey. Close to max level. Mine is actually close to max level. I don't know how much actually is needed till I finish this, but yeah, it's solidly built. Let's say it like this. It's close to the max. I think the majority of the players who was not AFK like me, maybe they have this thing already done. This Ring of Dicey. On the other side, a Ring of Bear is like half built, but still a nice progression here. And Tranquil Water is needing a lot of investment here. But anyway, if you build everything and you focus all of your resources over these 3 rings, you're going to have like whale rings, because it's going to be max level, it's going to have the spell maxed, it's going to have everything maxed. Just these 3 rings. Now there is a many rings right here. It's not only these 3 rings. As you can see, there are just so many other rings at the end of the day, which, you know, the whale or kraken can invest in them. But specifically for the Lubu combo, you're going to just need these 3 rings. Now somebody's using Ring of Wolf. I want to point out this thing, but I believe Ring of Bear is one idea better. So players unlock too many systems simultaneously and delay the real strange. I believe all of the systems should be opened, but if you open many systems for many heroes, it's going to be an issue. For example, me investing in this ring and not investing in the Dicey ring. As you can see, I already make this mistake. I invest in Ring of Violet. I get Hands of Industry, where increase the troop gathering speed. This for Diu-chan. I can actually save those copper dust and just put it in the Ring of Dicey. So if you focus everything on one single legion, you're going to have at one point like legion. Your legion is going to have close to the well power legion, and from there actually come that you may have well power, but you can have close to well built legion just by focusing all of your resources on the single legion. And even though that you can be like 30 million and the enemy can be 50 million, you're going to have one very nice, very solid legion at the end of the day. And wall spenders lose because their upgrades have no strategic decision. This is something other that I want to talk about. But the issue is people never realize this thing. Maybe when they watch one video or, you know, get some information from somewhere, it can be from the Discord. By the way, my Discord is in the link in the description. They get some ideas or second opinion or already established meta builds, and then they decide to go in this direction. But you know, there is going to be new heroes coming in this game, so you have to know how to make the right decision before this thing actually to happen. And yeah, the world power people should focus just on one legion and make this legion absolutely crazy. Now, random tech creates fake account strange is the other thing that I want to talk about. Some fake strange. Now, I have a university, and if I go over the research, the only thing that right now I'm doing is I'm, you know, researching the swordsman defense. From there, I'm going to try to open all of the tier 7, and from there I want to get this all units type training speed. It can go how many levels? 5 levels. This like 20% training speed, which is absolutely wild, and I definitely need it to speed up my troops production. Here I have also for the hospital capacity. I'm not going to go how important these things are, but one of the things I delay for now, and there is a reason I'm doing this delay, is going all in for the cavalry health. Right now it's 4 from 5. It's just too much time. I mean, if you see it, you're going to see that it's just asking for so much time to be researched. But at the end of the day, one thing I'm going to go after I get this training speed 3 is going to be focusing over the cavalry. Now this one can be like 2 or 3, but the cavalry should be 5. If your main troop is cavalry, the cavalry should be 5. This is something that I did actually only here. As you can see, cavalry defense, cavalry health. The pikeman is just enough to open the tier of the pikeman, or the swordsmen, or the archers. I don't care about these troops. I care only for the cavalry. And the same have to happen to the rest of the researchers for the cavalry, but the rest of the researchers here is actually inflated. Now if I go even here, obviously here is going to be 5 from 5, but if I go and swordsman health or swordsman attack, pikeman attack, if I level up all of these things, is going to be inflated because I'm not actually using these troops. I only use cavalry, and this is a way of inflation we are talking about here, and how this actually creates fake account strange at the end of the day. Because I believe even I have seen even King Arthur accounts running just 3 legions. You have opportunity to run like 5 legions, but this was just 3 legions running. So Focused Swordsman tech creates immediate frontline combat pressure. Focused Cavalry tech creates burst damage enemy cannot confidently ignore. I mean, we can go over and over which tech what is giving, but the stronger players specialize first before expanding account flexibility later. So you have to be, even right now I'm doing little mistake that I don't fully specialize in the cavalry health, which, you know, I should actually finish this one. I'm going to speed up this thing. I'm going to finish that, and I'm going to focus more over the cavalry. 30 days, brother. Oh my god. I mean, there is a small technology, but yeah, before you go for full account flexibility, you should actually go and boost one specific troop and make this troop crazy. Obviously, to go further, I have to open all of these troops, I mean tier 6, and from there I can actually open the rest of the researchers. I mean, don't get me wrong, you cannot proceed if you don't have rest of the things here, but at least make 5 from 5 those researchers right here. Now research timers become extremely inefficient without clear battlefield priorities. And don't forget to like the video if your tech path feels random. If you feel like your path is feeling random, hit one like on the video. And yeah, in general, is helping the video a lot. Now the other things that I want to talk about is players upgrade the wrong marches first. This is something that it happened to me back in the days. If you watch my videos, you know that at the beginning I start heavily investing in Huamuan. From there I invest in Leonidas also. I invest in Miyamoto. Miyamoto is also 3-star. I started investing and I was looking to make like 5 legions. Brother, in this game, even Krakens are running like 3 legions, even though that I think they can run actually 5 legions, but they decide to run like 3 legions. So who am I with my with my wall spending here? Even that right now I'm little free to play. To go with 5 legions, but this is mistakes that happen with the time. Now, weak secondary marches waste gems, speed ups, and equipment upgrades constantly. This is the issue that you may face if you want to go and actually get for a second legion. Is you have to invest heavily in this legion if you want this legion to be efficient on the battlefield. and in same time, all the resources is going in this direction. So imagine right now how I was building my Lubu with Atiwa, and I think I used Guanhui or Reni. I don't remember quite well what was before that, and I didn't actually put anything aside. And Zhao Yun come in the game, and bam, I don't have anything to level up the ring. I don't have anything to start up this hero, and I don't have anything in form of gear or the gems. Which okay, maybe the gear since is the same for all of the heroes. I can say that there's no issue there, but from point of legendary medals, skill points, dust for the rings because it may actually different ring to be better for Zayun and etc. You just have to have some resources put it aside, and if you focus over the secondary march and you're like, let's say, free to play, this is going to be wasted gems. I think at one point we're going to face this thing, okay? At one point, people are going to have one full march and they may start thinking going for the second march, or they're building their cavalry, but the next water marksman is extremely strong, is the new meta, and is killing everything on the way. Most likely there's going to be transition from the cavalry, because cavalry is already very solid. I mean, Wubu as a hero is a very solid hero, and people and everybody's going to slowly move in this direction. Right now, the most used legions on the battlefield are Cyrus the Great and Lubu. Period. I mean, these pikemans and cavalry. Nobody's actually using archers, or if they use archers, they just get destroyed very fast. From time to time, I see Miyamoto from time to time, but that's all. That's all. So if you go for the secondary march, you have to be prepared for a new hero when he come to your legion, to be you be able to level up this hero or start up this hero and etc. Just you have to have put it aside some resources, and then you can go for secondary march, because you don't want to have weak secondary march at the end of the day. One dangerous march pressure enemies harder than 3 unfinished marches. And I have one story that I like to talk with my members or the people in the Discord. By the way, link in the description for the Discord. Is back in the days when I faced one Muan, I rush with my 3 legions, unfinished weak legions, and I didn't even take like 10% of the HP of this Muan, and this Muan basically destroyed me. It's basically destroyed me. So from there I know that, and that was not only me. Don't get me wrong. I mean, with me was couple other people who marches also get destroyed by this Muan. This Muan alone killed like 30 marches. 30 marches, and I was like, maybe building one very solid legion is going to be the way. So all power accounts survive longer by specializing instead of multitasking. So you have to be specialized with the one legion and not actually multitasking. One upgraded tier 7 march change alliance value dramatically during wars, but the next mistake is even more expensive in long term, and this is gear efficiency change everything. Now people are thinking, since we're talking about the heroes, and one of the mistakes that I see people are doing is, they see a hero and they think that everything is, I just need the heroes. But at the end of the day, it's not you only need the heroes. You actually need also rings. You also need some mons. You also need adornment for these mons, and all these things is needed from you, because they're giving different stats. For example, this one, Thunderbreaker Rally Battle, mounted hero damage increased by 8.4, only effective when attacking players' troops. I mean, all these the traits here, the adornments, the rings we already spoke about, the gems, the mythic gems that you use on this hero is the technology is something that you have to keep in mind. The heroes is just one of the systems that are actually building your legion at the end of the day, but the gear is also changing everything. Now players unlock gear pieces faster than they actually strange them up. This is the other thing. Half upgraded gear creates terrible scaling during high level combat traits. So that's why that's one of the main reasons I'm currently, I'm with Ring of Dicey, which is rare. This is tranquil water and Brink of Bear, just because I have resources and I want to use all the resources and maxing the gear. A Ring of Dice is pretty much close to be finished. Tranquil Water is a little slow. Is still needing some gems to continue progressing. There is very slow. That's why I don't suggest go with 3 legendary rings. Even right now, if I go over the rings, if I go here and supply, it's actually not here. Sorry about that. Is Wookie Draw. If I go here, I'm going to draw something and I'm going to get this silver sand. Now, if I don't have any kind of epic ring, this is going to be useless. Used to upgrade epic signature ring, enhancing their attributes, blah blah blah. So if I don't have it, this is going to be useless. Now I can continue, and here I'm going to get again. The other thing is I have 6.96k, or let's say 7k of these coins. I can easily go in the collection and buy any of these rings that I need. Any of them. But the reason I'm not doing that is just because, first of all, this is very slow to be gathered. It is huge grind. And the second thing is I don't invest in something that I'm not going to use it. So right now I'm using these 3 legions. At one point we may change one of the legendary rings, or maybe I can change some of the epic rings. I was actually thinking about the Ring of Wolf, Night Wolf. After every 9 normal attacks, your troop increase the damage of all of your heroes' normal attacks, secondary, blah blah blah. Might bonus. Since this is also looking very nice for Lubu Legion, since there is a lot of double attack states and a lot of secondary strikes, so this can be very nice in this direction, and it's not that expensive. But yeah, I'm just not investing in something that I'm not going to use, or if I buy it, I have to invest in it, and this is going to take out investments from my main rings in the ring I'm going to buy. So yeah, this is one of the main reasons I don't spend this 7k point. And yeah, this is inefficient if your march dies before actually dealing some damage. This is about all of the gear. Now the other thing I want to talk about is speedups are being wasted completely in majority of the cases, but speedups is a topic for other video. But yeah, you still have to be careful with your speedups at the end of the day. Now WoW power accounts need specialized damage. Now most WoW power accounts try surviving instead of threatening enemies. Tier 7 against tier 8 fights punish balanced builds extremely hard right now. Yeah, this is a topic for other video, but still I mean I make this video is somewhere on my channel about tier 7 against tier 8. And you have to be aggressive when you're playing against tier 8. At the end of the day, you have to be aggressive. The reason behind is you're cooked either way. You're cooked either way. So if you don't do a burst heavy damage faster, the heavy damage you can actually do, you're not going to be even trigger your spells. You're not going to even do some damage, and this is, I think, the issue. And that's why I believe against tier 8 you have to count on heavy burst damage at the end of the day. That's why I was thinking about this ring, should I change it, but I decided to leave it like this because Atiwa is a hero. I mean, right now my Lubu Legion setup is a glass cannon. For the people who don't know what is glass cannon, is squishy. It's not that defensive, but it's very aggressive. So you know, this is something that I can define a glass cannon as a thing. Now, why focused tier 7 accounts feel terrifying is tier 7 specialization creates huge stat spike compared to broad progression accounts. I think this is not surprise. And if I can sum up everything till this point, is investing in one place is just going to make it well like account, well like Legion, from this to actually spread your resources. Now, players unlock tier 7 too late because resources were scattered everywhere. This is one of the things. I personally believe, and where I'm using my universal speedups is over the research. This is the place that I believe everybody should focus their speedups, just because the buildings at one point is going to ask you for these keys. Now there's going to be something like other resource that is needed for the researches, but at the end of the day the researches is more time consuming. If I go over the research, I have like 759 of these things, and as you can see, one cavalry defense is like 30 days. That's huge. This level 3 to 4. Imagine from 4 to 5. Here from 4 to 5 is just going to be decent amount of time, and technology is just way more slower at the end of the day from all of these buildings that are happening here. So universal speedups should go in the university at the end of the day. So, and yeah, focused swordsman account become extremely dangerous inside rallies and objectives. Focused cavalry accounts burst targets before. It is what it is. Just stronger players choose battlefield identity before maximizing every troop type. I think this is not a huge surprise for many players, but if you're new, this is definitely going to give you a huge advantage over the players who don't know this thing. So this will be for this video. Thank you very much for watching it. Here I'm going to put one other video that it can be interesting for you. Don't forget to hit one like, also subscribe if you're interested in this game, in Age of Empire Mobile, gameplay, tips and tricks, all these things. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.